Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalie and today I am doing another try before you buy video. Today I am going to be doing a try before you buy video on a ColourPop Secret Valentine's Day secret mystery box that I bought on TikTok shop. The actual products inside are claimed to be $110+ in value, but it actually is sold at a price of $49, which seems like a very beautiful steal. I bought it for Valentine's Day, but I ended up not using it for Valentine's Day because after watching lots of reviews, it turns out that a lot of the time when ColourPop does these mystery boxes for holidays, it doesn't always match with the theme of the holiday, so I thought it's okay if I wait. And it turns out it was a good idea because this look is very spring coated. I also try a few other products, including a few E.L.F products, so please continue on watching to see how I got into this final look. But yeah, let's get into it. Hey guys, okay, so let's get started. So the actual mystery box that I bought from ColourPop did not come with any base makeup at all, so I actually have something else that I really wanted to try. I actually got this recently, the Halo Glow Liquid Filter by E.L.F. that I really want to try. I've seen so many people say that it's really good at making like a glowy base, but let's see, let's put it to the test because that's what I'm here for. I've also seen people say that this isn't necessarily a foundation, but I've seen people use it kind of like a foundation, so I'm not really sure. We'll see. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like you wear it underneath your makeup to make your makeup super glowy. I also recently saw that E.L.F. created a pressed powder sort of foundation thing instead that's kind of supposed to pair with this, but I've never actually tried just a full face of just powder foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this in. Normally I put products on my face first, but this seems like pretty thin as is, so I didn't want to thin it out even more by putting it on my hand, because normally I put it on my hand first to make sure that it blends evenly, which it's kind of not. It kind of dries pretty fast. People say that this is super good for glowy makeup if you're into super glowy makeup. It's been around for a little while, I just never tried it. I don't know if it's just me, but this looks like super greasy. Like, am I supposed to look like a basted turkey? Also, when I first applied it, it looked way lighter, so I think like it oxidized a little bit, but I don't know why I look like I look greasy. I don't look glowy. I look, I'm gonna go over top with some bronzer just to see if maybe it makes it any better. I don't have really high hopes though, because this is looking really basted turkey vibes. Also, like, how do other people make this look so good? Like, why does it look like a burnt, greasy turkey? Is it just me? Like, did I do something wrong? Okay, for everyone who loves this product here, please comment down below, like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Because, like, I don't understand why when I use it, it looks like a greasy basted turkey. Like, am I doing something wrong, or is this supposed to be like this? Because, like, I've used, like, glowy products before, but it doesn't look greasy like this looks greasy. This also feels greasy. Is that just me? I don't know. We'll just try to put bronzer on my face to see if it makes anything better. Even my bronzer is applying kind of weird on top of this. Like, working with other products on top of it, it's just not really, it's not really blending properly, because my bronzer on top of this looks shiny also, but like not as shiny, so it looks kind of weird. Can you see the line of difference? Yeah, am I doing something wrong? I feel like it's not supposed to look like this. Well, I know they said too, like, it's not supposed to actually be a foundation, but okay. I also got a new blush. I got the E.L.F. Camo Liquid Blush, this one, in the shade Comin in Hot Pink. I thought it looked really cute. I also bought the lilac one for a different video, which I still need to film because I bought some lilac makeup and I really want to try and also test the new Huda Beauty powder and combo kit thing, the new Huda Beauty Ube birthday cake set, but I haven't done that video yet. Ooh, that's pigment. Hopefully that's even. Sure, a little dot on my nose. I've also seen like these blushes, like the E.L.F. blushes, are super pigmented, so that's what we're looking for here. Whoa. That is pigment. That is beautiful. It's kind of a lot right now, but we'll fix it with some concealer because I didn't know that it's gonna be this pigmented. But that's a beautiful payout color. Yeah, I love that. In terms of blending, it does take quite a bit of blending and working it in to get it to, you know, blend nicely. But I do think that it's a beautiful pigment color and it has a lot of a punch of pigment because normally blush is the first thing to go, as most people know. So you want to have a lot of pigment so that then it can fade throughout the day and look more and more natural and nice looking. Like this blush like doesn't look as greasy as my forehead, which is not what we want. Put it under the nose. Perfect. This side is way blushier than this one. I did way better on this side, I feel like. This side looks more natural. Okay, this is definitely 10 out of 10. Would use again. I love that. I should probably invest in more of the E.L.F. blushes because after seeing that, definitely a win. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my concealer to clean up a little bit and hopefully also cover up a bit of this greasy mess here. There, let me use my phone just to show you guys how dark this looks. You see how dark I look? I look also so greasy looking. Like, what the heck? Like, even like concealer doesn't even look like it matches me anymore. I look like a greasy mess. Like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know if this is for me. Yeah, I don't know if that's for me. It's not giving. I have a brighter concealer that I also normally use, but I might have to use more of this than I normally like to use. Obviously, it's important to also make note of like how other products sit on top of the actual base, and I feel like for me anyway, this is like it feels like there's a lot of layers on my skin, which is not something I normally like. And I also feel very greasy, very gross feeling. I don't really know if this is for me. Will I use it again? Maybe, but so far I'm not really liking how it feels on my skin. Also, like, with the other products on top, yes, they lay nicely, but it still doesn't, like, it still looks very greasy, and it's kind of a lot for me. Yeah, I don't think I would use this very often. I would definitely use the blush again, though. The blush is beautiful. Yeah, that's how I feel about this anyway. Okay. So that's the base done. I'm going to spray my face with some setting spray. In the actual mystery box, it came with some setting spray, so I'm going to try using their setting spray. I'll try using the setting spray that came in the box, which is this one, the No Filter Mist Setting Spray by ColourPop. When I opened it, it had kind of a weird, yeah, it has this weird like darker part here, because it's like set on one side, and no matter how much I mix it, I can't seem to get it to go away. So we'll just ignore it. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing that like it like falls it down to the bottom and it like stays there and sets into this weird white thick substance thing that you can't like shake away, but that's fine. I'm gonna shake it anyway and spray my face. I don't quite like the spray on this. It also smells like lemons. That smells disgusting. I don't like this, the cap to this, the spray. It's less of a mist and more, it has more of a shoot than it has a mist. And I don't quite like that, because then it like leaves like a blob of liquid on your face. Like you can see my face is really wet right now. Yes, I sprayed it a whole bunch, but like the type of setting spray that I like puts like a nice mist. So it doesn't feel like there's a lot of liquid on your face, but it still like sets, you know what I mean? Like if you put a lot of layers, it still sets the same amount, but it doesn't feel like you just put a glob of liquid on your face. But this does that, and it smells kind of, it smells like a lemon on my face, which, who wants that? Okay, I'm gonna powder down my face and I will be right back to do the eye makeup and the actual ColourPop products. But I will be right back after I powder my face, put on powder blush, powder bronzer, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so this is my base done. Okay, so here are my final notes about my base, right? So I did my normal routine, doing the powder for the blush, the bronzer, my actual setting of my face and stuff. My face still looks pretty glowy, which is nice. And at first it started to feel kind of burning, but I don't think that it was because of this, but I think it was actually the setting spray. So I don't think, oh, that weird white stuff moved. I think because this has a more acidic lemony smell, whatever is in here, whatever it's made out of, is actually giving me a bad reaction, because underneath, like right after I sprayed it, it started to feel like my face was burning, and then after it dried, it doesn't feel that way anymore. It feels a little tingly, but it doesn't feel that way anymore. So I think that this might be giving me a bad reaction because it has like something acidic in it. So I'm not going to be using this anymore. I'm just gonna use my other setting spray, my Milani Make It Last setting spray instead for, you know, later. But I'm not gonna use that anymore because I think it's not good for my skin. My other thought is that this Halo Glow liquid filter doesn't look bad. It really doesn't. Now that I've set my face and everything, it looks pretty good. My skin does look tanner than normal, which means that this would probably be really good if you're someone who really likes to self-tan, who likes to look tanner. This is probably great for you, for also glowy skin. But for me, like, it creates like this weird thick layer, and it took me a little bit of liking, of like, it took me a little bit of like getting used to, and then it started to look good after I set my face and everything. So it's a bit of a trust the process, right? So I don't hate it. I hated it at first, strongly disliked it, was already thinking I'm never gonna use this again. But now that I've done the rest of my face, this looks great. I look beautifully glowy, you know? And it doesn't feel like that weird feeling of like thick, greasy, gross food feeling like you just put your face over like a hot pot or something. But no, it's not like that. It doesn't feel like that anymore now that I've said it. So I feel like this just takes some working with, you know? When you first put it on, it's a bit of a shock. It's not like anything else. But I think I managed to make it look okay. So, you know. But if you guys have any other like suggestions on how to use this product, because I've never used it before obviously, but if you guys have other suggestions or like think that there's something I could have done to improve the usage of this, please leave a comment down below. I obviously don't know, I've never used this before, and I know there's a ton of you guys out there who are super avid users of this stuff, but for me, like at first I was thrown off, but I actually quite like it now, so yay. Now moving on from there, the blush, the new blush that I used, adore it, love it. Chef's kiss, will use again, will use it over and over again. It's so pigmented, it's beautiful, it blends beautifully. Like, it came on super strong, but you know, she has spread. But she looks beautiful. And you can always clean up with some concealer. But I think that this color is specifically beautiful. It's not normally something I would gravitate towards. I normally go for like lighter pinks or less pigmented hot pink type of colors, or I go for more peachy, but this was perfect. It's beautiful, it blended beautifully, it works perfectly with the other products. It was 10 out of 10, will use again. So yeah. Now moving on from that, now since our base is done, I did my eyebrows off screen, we're gonna move on to the actual items that were in the actual mystery box. The mystery box came with a lot of eyeshadows. It came with these little gel eyeshadows and also some eyeshadow palettes, and it also came with lip products. So out of the actual gel eyeshadows, they're like little jelly eyeshadows, I guess. There are two colors, these two. They're like kind of shimmery. Never used jelly eyeshadow before, so I don't really know how these work, but this may be a contender of what I might use today. And then in terms of the eyeshadow palettes, there are two like pinky toned coated eyeshadow palettes here and one fully green eyeshadow palette, which is a little bit odd. So I actually got this mystery box as the Valentine's Day ColourPop Mystery Box with a whole bunch of items inside, but because I've seen so many reviews of what ColourPop normally puts in their little mystery boxes for the holidays and for Valentine's Day, etc., they don't usually go on theme. So originally I was going to film this video for Valentine's Day, but because I saw that, I was like, you know what? It's okay if I wait to do this later. This is actually perfect for right now because spring has started, guys, and what is better for spring than greens and pinks? So we're gonna do kind of like a florally Flora from Winx vibes, you know, where it's lots of pinks and lots of greens. I want to try my best to optimize the eyeshadow palettes as much as I can. So obviously I'm gonna try to use a little bit of each of the palettes. So this is the first palette here. There are lots of very neutral colors, some shimmery of the green and some shimmery of the pink. And then this one here is definitely more up the alley of Valentine's Day. They're wearing more pinks, see, and lots of shimmers. They're more maroons than pinks, but it's much more pink vibes. And then obviously the last one, the Aura and Out palette, is all just green vibes as such. So we're gonna try to make a look of these. I normally gravitate towards more neutral sort of eyeshadows. I don't normally go for green. I've done blue, I've done pink, I've done red, I've done purple, but I don't really do green. Green kind of scares me a little bit, but we're going to try our best today. Okay, I'm gonna dip into the pink palette first. The Truly Madly Deeply palette by ColourPop. And I'm gonna dip into this very pink shade called Poodle. Start to make a shape. Off the bat, these are very, very pigmented. It's very buildable. It's a little bit soft, but it is buildable and the color definitely has a lot of payout. I'm also gonna dip into this purpley sparkly color at the bottom here called Too Much, just to give a little bit of depth. This one is obviously more sparkly, but when you apply it on, you don't really see the sparkle as much, but it is very beautiful in the pan. Sparkles are a little bit hard though. I feel like the actual pressed glitters might be easier to apply actual like sparkles, but this one isn't really giving as much of the sparkly payout as I would like it to. I think it looks really pretty. These colors also blend out beautifully, which is a great bonus. Dipping into Too Much again and trying to darken up that line a little bit more. The purple doesn't blend as well as the pink, in my opinion. It takes more working in than the pink does, but it's still a beautiful color. Okay, so that is good for the pink, I think, for now. And now I'm gonna go in with the green palette. And for the green palette, I'm just going to use another brush and dip into the Fresh Cut color directly in the middle. There's a lot of fallout in this one. And we're just going to apply in the center. This one is also very pigmented, but you don't see it as much as the pinks and the purple, but that's because since this is a lighter, more sort of neon-y color, it will be harder to get it to be more pigmented. It's just kind of the way a lot of palettes and eyeshadows work, but this is coming off very pigmented and surprisingly so as well. It's beautiful. For someone who doesn't always gravitate towards green, this is coming off incredible. I'm also going to try to put a little bit of the glitter on there as well. I'm not really sure which one I'm going to do. Maybe this one at the bottom here called Healing Heart, because it seems to be the most, like the color that I just did. If I pat, it is better for glitters normally, so I'm going to pat. And that is on there. Beautiful. quite like that. I'm also going to take a bit of the white eyeshadow in here as well and just dip it into my inner corner here to brighten the eye a little. Yeah. Now from there, I'm gonna dip into the Wild Nothing palette, the third palette here. And I'm gonna dip into the brown shade here in the corner to darken up the eyeliner or eyeline area. Just to emphasize that there is a line there. There we go. That's very pigmented, beautiful. A little bit of this shimmer here, the Coastline shimmer, directly in the center here of my inner corner. Alrighty, so I'm going to call that a day on the eyeshadow look here. I'm going to add some eyeliner and do the other eye off camera, and then I will be right back to do my lips and final touches and also my final notes on all of the products in this mystery box. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is the final eye look here. I think it turned out pretty good. My thoughts on these eyeshadows is incredible. The pigment is wonderful. There's a little bit of fallout, but like, what else do you expect from palettes that are giving you this much pigment? I'm not normally someone who likes to use green, but this green is beautiful. It came out wonderfully. The glitters also are incredible. Obviously, I didn't use the Wild Nothing palette as much, but I think this might be something that I use more often in general because it has more neutrals. Also, the glitters in this stick really well. I loved how the white like literally brightened the center of my eyes. Now we move on to lips. The mystery box came with these three lippies, right? It came with the ColourPop Luxe lipstick in Cyber Babe. The packaging of this feels kind of childlike. It's plastic, it feels very light, but it's just a regular bullet. This also came with the ColourPop Luxe in Feeling Angelic color. I guess it's from the same line, but the actual packaging looks different. This one feels more luxurious than the other one. It feels less like a kid's makeup sort of thing. This is more of a brown lipstick bullet. I don't normally use lipstick bullets very often. I drift more towards lip glosses, I feel like. And then this is the So Juicy Plumping Gloss in I'm Me, but it's like a bright pink. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to line my lips with whatever lip liner I own. I'm not really sure which one I'm going to do yet. Maybe I'll just use this one, this MAC one in Cork. Just line my lips. Okay. I think I'm going to go in with the one called Cyber Babe because I feel like this one has kind of like the more neutral tone, but it's still more pinkish, which might go well with the eye look. So I'm going to go in with this bullet here. It's very creamy, very pigmented. I don't usually use like lipstick bullets, but this feels nice. Creamy, very creamy, but it does bleed a little bit. Not bad. And I'm gonna use a bit of the So Juicy Plumping Gloss. I don't normally like things that are this bright pink. I usually go for more like clear glosses, but might as well use it. Just gonna take a little out. I'm already getting stuff on my teeth. I should not be licking that with my tongue because it's getting very minty. But yeah, it's not super, oh my god. Do you see that? It's like making little lines. This gloss is very liquidy, and therefore it's getting on my teeth a whole bunch. I'm gonna take this off. I don't really like the gloss. The gloss is like too much. I like a gloss that has like a, oh my god, that's all over my teeth. And it's not very plumping either. Yeah, I don't like the gloss. That's not for me. But I think like the gloss is very like loose. It's not very thick. I like a gloss that's like thicker, so then it doesn't move as much. It feels more hydrating than it feels like liquidy and getting everywhere, because obviously, as you could see, it was getting all over my teeth every time I talked and moved my mouth because it's so liquidy. It doesn't have a lot of structure to it. But yeah, let's get into the final thoughts. Here are my final thoughts. Let's start with the base makeup. So to start, for the Halo Glow Liquid Filter Glow Booster for Radiant Skin, this definitely, I had to work with it for a little bit in order for me to really like it. It does make you look tanner than normal. You get this nice tanner, glowy skin effect whenever you put all your other products on top. Do not just wear this alone with just cream products. I suggest definitely setting it with some powder, because for me, when I didn't do the powder yet, it was still so greasy. I looked like a greasy turkey, like I said before. And I've said a million times already, but it definitely grows on you. It does oxidize as you get going, but it is beautiful. I love how the applicator is ginormous. It kind of feels a bit comical, but I will use this again just for the foundation portion, or if there's a day that I particularly want to look a little tanner, I will definitely use this again. I do suggest it, but I do want to find out more about other ways other people are using it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but it did grow on me. I do like it. No slander against the queen for many people, but yeah. For the E.L.F. Liquid Blush, I adore this color. I will use it again. It's super pigmented. I'd love to go try the rest of their colors in their line, and this specific color is definitely not a color that I normally gravitate towards, but I will from now on because it brings a lot of brightness to the face, brings color, and it stays there for a little while. You can see that it's faded a little bit since the beginning of the video, but as most blushes do. So I do think that this is definitely a contender I will be using more often on my face, especially for that bright, cheeky glow. But yeah, it definitely worked well with the other products by E.L.F. as well. But, you know, who else would have thought otherwise? The setting spray. Guys, I'm not using this ever again. It smells like lemons. It's super acidic. It has this weird white film at the bottom. I shook it. No matter how much I shake it, it never goes away. I sprayed it on my face and my face started to burn. Like I could feel the lemon on my face, and that's not what you want. So I'm never using this again. I'm not going to give this to anyone because I don't want anyone else to have an allergic reaction or have their face burning. To each their own though. If you are an avid lover of this setting spray, good for you. But for me, it's not really for me. I think that my skin is not, it doesn't take with it. Obviously everybody is different. Everybody's skin will react differently to all the different products. That's definitely not for me. I'm not using it anymore. Next up is the palettes. So these palettes, I've used ColourPop palettes before. I actually used a ColourPop palette for my Sadness cosplay for the San Diego Comic-Con that I went to last year, and it worked out perfectly. It set on top of my blue foundation really well, and it did wonders. Like the color, the pigment is always incredible. However, there is normally a lot of fallout in the pan, so just be careful. If you do want a lot of pigment though, that's just kind of what you get. And for these three palettes, obviously I didn't use this one as much. The Wild Nothing palette I didn't use as much, but I think that's because for me, I know that it's a neutrals palette. I know that's something I will use all of the time, but I wanted to do something a little bit more fun because this does come with a lot of colors. I did dip into the white of this palette though, which is exactly what is in my inner corner here, which comes off beautifully. Even if I go far away from the camera, you can see the brightness coming from the center of my face, and that's exactly what it was giving. That's exactly what I want from a white eyeshadow, and I adore that and I love it. I also used a glitter in this palette as well that also comes off beautifully in the inner corner as well, and I would definitely recommend the palettes from ColourPop. I've used ColourPop palettes all of the time. There's obviously a ton of fallout, but the pigment is incredible. These two palettes here, again, beautiful. This one is a little bit disappointing. I really wished that there was more pinks in this palette, but the color is beautiful. The purple did not blend as well, but I made it work. You just have to work with it a little bit. The pigments in this one, not as wow, you know. I think I've seen a lot of other palettes that do pinks that do way better, but it is still a beautiful palette. Is it really one of the best palettes I've ever used? No, not really, but it was pretty good still, and I could still work with it in a way that like I liked, and it turned out the way that I wanted it to. So that's all you can really ask for in an eyeshadow palette. This palette, I think that for me, this was a very big standout because I did not expect the green to pop the way that it did. I think that there are a lot of colors that you can do, like blues or purples or pinks or reds or etc., that pop out beautifully just naturally as a color. It has a beautiful number of pigment, but greens and yellows that are bright like this, it's very difficult. But they managed to get a green this bright and this light, very neon, to pop out this way, even just by tapping in a few times. Like, you get a lot of pigment with one brush. The glitter also came on beautifully. This palette was incredible. It skyrocketed out of what I thought it could have been or could have done. So I definitely recommend this palette. Is there another green palette out there? I don't know. I don't use green very often, but I do think that this one definitely is incredible, and I would definitely recommend if you love green eyeshadow, because even though it's a light green, it punches a lot of color. The actual gel eyeshadows, I didn't touch these at all. I think I was just a bit scared to use them, especially since like I don't really know how to use them. I'd have to watch more videos on how to use like gel eyeshadow or how to properly use it. Also, I just felt like these colors didn't really go with any of the other colors in the eyeshadow palettes, and I really wanted to dabble in with all of the eyeshadow palettes since I know more about eyeshadow palettes. But please let me know if you'd like me to do a video of trying these. I can also do like a TikTok video instead. It's a shorter form content and not a full video, but I can still try these for you. I just don't really know how to use them properly, and I don't want to give you guys advice on something that I don't know quite how to use. Finally, we go into the lip products. I think that I'm not the best person to give you advice on lipstick bullets. I don't use lipstick bullets very often, but I do have to say that these are pretty creamy. The lipstick bullets that I have used, they're not as creamy as this one that I used. Normally they have more of a thick texture so that stay on your lips, but I do find that like when this is so creamy that it like, if it does bleed outside of your lips like mine, because my lips normally, like when I use lip products, sometimes it bleeds on the sides here because I don't have quite a defined lip ending on the sides here. It does bleed, and when it bleeds, it's kind of hard to get off. Like, I'd have to use concealer to get it off, etc. I'm talking all the time, right? Or I'm eating or I'm drinking water. Like, it's gonna bleed, it's gonna go all over the place. And I've used a lipstick bullet this creamy before, and by the end of the night, it was all over my bottom half of my face, and nobody told me, which, by the way, bad friends. Okay, but I think like if it's this creamy, maybe some of you may like a lipstick that is very creamy this way and it feels nice and hydrating on the lips, but for me, I think like it's not really something that I would gravitate towards, because obviously I like more like thicker glosses normally. Obviously that fades as well, but it doesn't get all over the place and cause color to go everywhere. And I also like the natural look of my natural lips, but I do suggest that you try these if you like something more creamy. They are also beautiful colors, but it's not really for me. I do think that they are a great product if you do like things that are creamier and have like this beautiful color, because it has pigment. It's beautiful, but it's not really something that I feel like I gravitate towards. After blotting it down a little bit, I feel like it's less creamy and the color is still there. It's still beautiful. So I think like if you are someone who likes the color but doesn't like the creaminess factor, definitely blot it down, because you'll still have the color, but it won't be as creamy and it won't get everywhere. So that's why like I like to do that trick. I will probably use it again only sometimes, but I'll definitely have to blot after I use it just to make sure. This lip gloss is not for me. I don't like how liquidy it is. It got all over the place. It was all over my teeth. It was too much. It had more of a minty taste than it was plumping. Like, I don't feel any plumping at all. It didn't feel like it was plumping. All I got was a smell of mint and the taste of mint. I'm not really gonna use this because I like lip glosses that have more thickness to it. I like something that has hold on your lips but it's still hydrating. So I'm not a fan of that at all. But yeah, my opinion is my opinion. Everybody has different preferences. You may like certain products differently in texture or color than I do, or even smell than I do. So you may like some of the products that I didn't like, but you know, this is my suggestion. This is just what I think. I'm just trying to help you see what these products are like before you spend your hard-earned money on it, because sometimes I think it's hard to know what to buy if you don't know how it'll turn out, and then when you do buy it, you feel like you wasted your money, and I don't want that for you. So that's why I like creating these try before you buy videos. It's just a nice way for me to be able to give you my insight as someone who likes to do makeup, and also as someone who has these products, in order for you to go out and spend your money on the products that you really do think are worth it. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, thank you for watching. Good morning, good night, goodbye.